To my channel once again. Today is Tuesday, the 20th day of May, the year 2025, and as always, I have some well analyzed matches for you. So, yesterday we're very unfortunate. As you can see, I provided a total of 8 matches for you, and we missed one. I don't know why I decided to play corner market yesterday. I don't like this market, corner market. I don't know why I decided to play them yesterday, and that was the market that messed us up yesterday. I felt so sad. I felt so sad yesterday, right? I don't like playing corners, but just yesterday I just decided to. So okay, let me give it a try and look at what happened. They messed up these beautiful selections. So, but other selections went well. Daggerford vs Göteborg. My prediction was over 1.5 goals. Bromby vs Midtjylland over 2 goals. Shamrock Rovers vs St Patrick's over 1.5 goals. Beta Jerusalem vs Beersheva. Beersheva to win or draw no bet. Haifa vs Tel Aviv to win or draw. Hapoel Seva vs Hapoel Tel Aviv to win or draw. Brighton vs Liverpool, Brighton to score at least 1 goal. CSK Sofia vs Krumov over 1.5 goals. So those selections went well. It was the Cordoba game that decided to mess us up. And I'm sure most of you edited this game out because I know many of you don't like the corner market. I'm sure you must have edited this out. So that was that for yesterday, guys. Today is another day, and I've taken my time to come up with some very good predictions here. So without much waste of time, let's get started. So the first match, as you can see here, is from the South Africa Premier League. It's a game involving SuperSport United and Orlando Pirates. My prediction here is Orlando Pirates to win or draw at 1.22 odds. So we give Orlando Pirates the advantage here because we've seen that they've been very consistent, and it seems that playing hard to see how they can qualify for the Africa Champions League. They've been very superb this season. So we expect them to win or at least get a draw at 1.22 odds. So looking at their data here, we can see that SuperSport United are 14th on the table, Orlando Pirates are second on the table. And then we look at the head-to-head between these two teams, you can see that Orlando Pirates has won 2 times, SuperSport once. The other fixtures ended in a draw. Now talking about their current form here, we can see that SuperSport United, whenever they play at home, we can see that they have not been that impressive at home. The last 6 home matches they won just once, drew 2 times and lost 3 times. And then we look at the Orlando Pirates away from home, you can see that these guys have been consistent. Their last 6 away matches they've won 4 times, drew once and lost just once. Now looking at their standings on the table here, we can see that Orlando Pirates are fighting hard to see how they can qualify for the Africa Champions League, as you can see. So we give Orlando Pirates advantage here, and we expect them to win or at least get a draw at 1.22 odds. Next, we have this one from the Saudi Arabia Pro League. It's a game involving Al Qadisiyah and Al Urba. My prediction here is Al Qadisiyah to win at 1.25 odds. So this Al Qadisiyah team has been very consistent in this division. They've done so well. They're very consistent. They've won so many matches. And against Al Ruba, we expect Al Qadisha to do well here. They should be able to pick 3 maximum points here. This team is fighting hard to see how they can qualify for the Asia Champions League. So we expect they'll do well against Al Ruba. Let's look into their data. So looking at their data here, we can see that Qadisiyah are third on the table, Oruba are 14th on the table. And then we look at the head-to-head between these two teams. You can see that Cadizia has won three times, Europa has won two times or three times. Now, looking at their current form here, we can see that Cadizia, whenever they play at home, the last six home matches, they've won four times and drew two times. And then talking about Oruba away from home, we can see that Oruba struggles a lot whenever they play away from home. Their last six away matches shows Oruba has won just two times and lost four times. And now let's take a look at their standings on the table here. So you can see that Cadizia are third on the table and they're fighting hard to see how they can, you know, qualify for the Champions League because top three teams qualify for the Champions League, as you can see. So they want to do everything possible to ensure they qualify for the Champions League. And that's why my prediction here is Academia to win at full time at 1.25 odds. Next, we have this one from the England Premier League. It's a game involving Manchester City and Bournemouth. My prediction here is Manchester City to win at full time at 1.51 odds. So here we expect Manchester City should not disappoint. Manchester City has been very inconsistent these days. They are so full of surprises and nobody knows how they're going to perform this time around. I mean, this is a team that needs to qualify for the Champions League, but nobody knows what's on their mind. You know, they need 3 points actually to qualify for the Champions League here. We remember what happened a few days ago when they lost to Crystal Palace in the FA Cup final. Nobody expected that kind of result. So Manchester City is so full of surprises here. So you can go with Manchester City to win or draw, or you can go with Manchester City. You can avoid this game totally. If you feel Manchester City will disappoint, you can just avoid it totally. But I think they should be able to win this one and pick the three maximum points. If they pick 3 points here, it's going to help them qualify for the Champions League. Sorry guys, my internet do freezes sometimes. So you just have to be patient with me. So looking at their data here, we can see that Manchester City are sixth on the table, Bournemouth are 11th on the table. And then we look at the head-to-head between these two teams. We can see here that Manchester City has always been dominating. They've had 83% win record against Bournemouth. Now, looking at their current form here, we can see that Manchester City, their last six home matches have been very impressive at home. They've won five times and drew once. And then we look at Bournemouth away from home. We can see that the last six away matches, Bournemouth has won two times, drew three times, and lost once. Now let's take a look at their standings on the table. So looking at their standings on the table here, you can see that City are sixth on the table and it's only five teams that will qualify for the Champions League. So you can see that the point difference between Man City and the other top five is just 1 point. So this is a game Manchester City needs to win because the victory for them will take them to the top five and they'll qualify for the Champions League. So we expect they should be serious this time around. We expect them to win at full time at 1.51 odds. Next, we have this one from the England National League. It's a game involving York and Oldham. My prediction here is over 1.5 goals at 1.27 odds. So here we expect to see goals. These two teams are very good in goal scoring and they should be able to produce at least two goals here at 1.27 odds. So, looking at their data here, we can see that York City are second on the table. Oldham, Oldham Athletic are fifth on the table. And then when you look at the head-to-head between these two teams, we can see here that Oldham has won two times, York City has won once, and you can see that goals have always been produced every time they play. Average of two goals have always been produced. Now, looking at their current form here, we can see that York City, whenever they play at home, their last six home matches, they've won three times, drew two times, and lost once. And you can see here that they score and concede so many goals at home. Now, looking at Oldham away from home, we can see here that their last six away matches, they've lost three, drew three times, and they've scored and conceded lots of goals away from home. So this match should produce goals. These two teams are very good in goal scoring, and they should be able to score at least two goals here at 1.27 odds. Next, we have this one from the Bahrain Premier League. It's again involving Natcho and Citra. My prediction here is over 1.5 goals at 1.27 odds. So here again, we expect these two teams to produce some goals. They're very good in goal scoring. So let's look into their data. So looking at the data here, you can see that Nachma are seventh on the table, Citra are fourth on the table. And then when you look at the head-to-head between these two teams, you can see here that Nachma has won once, Citra has won once. The other fixtures ended in a draw, and these two teams always score almost every time they meet. Now, looking at their current form here, we can see that Nachma, their last six home matches, they've won once, drew two times, and lost three. And then we can see try away from home. We can see that the last six away matches, they've lost just once, drew once, and won four times. And you can see that they score lots of goals away from home. So this match should be able to produce lots of goals. These two teams are very good in goal scoring, and they should be able to produce at least two goals here at 1.27 odds. Finally, for today, we have this one from the Saudi Arabia Pro League. It's again involving Al Shabab and Al Ittihad. My prediction here is Al Ittihad to score at least one goal at 1.21 odds. Now, Al Ittihad has already won this. Okay, they've not won this league yet. You know, they need to keep winning. They need to keep winning their remaining two matches for them to win this title. So we expect them to score goal here. I don't want to back them to win or draw. Rather, let's go with the option of Al Ittihad to score at least one goal. So we expect they should be able to score goal. They are very good in goal scoring, and they have quality in their team. So they should be able to get one goal here at 1.21 odds. Now, looking at their data here, we can see that Al Shabab are sixth on the table, Al Ittihad are first on the table. And then when we look at the head-to-head between these two teams, we can see here that Al Ittihad scores almost every time they play Al Shabab, as you can see. Now, talking about their current form here, we can see that Al Shabab, their last home matches, they've won four times, drew once, and lost once. And then we look at Al Ittihad away from home, we can see that their last six away matches, they've won two times, drew three, and lost once. And you can see that Al Ittihad scores almost every time they play away from home. So we expect Al Ittihad to have a goal here. We expect them to score at least one goal at 1.21 odds. So guys, these are all the matches I have for you today with a total of 4.49 odds. Always remember to bet responsibly, guys. Football can be very funny, even with the best analysis. Anything can still happen. So make sure you bet responsibly. And do not forget to like this video, share and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. Thank you so much guys. I'll see you again in my next video.